here we're going to be looking at how to analyze your Forex charts using your mobile phones. I know many of you might not have access to laptops and stuff, so and you're always with your phone wherever you go, so there's a way you can analyze, and even if you're working, you're at work, just by you looking at the mobile phone after your analysis is played out, you can enter your trades and do all sorts of things with one. So we're going to specifically look at how to analyze using your mobile phone. Most of the times, most of my videos that I've done, I've just shown you how I analyze using the laptop, which is my preferred method, but I also use the phone at times when I'm busy and I know I won't be on my laptop maybe the whole day and stuff. So make sure you watch this video till the very end, as you might learn a thing or two. Let's get into it. So the platform we're going to be using is MT4, and MT4 can be downloaded from any place, Google Play Store or App Store. So when you click MT4, you're going to open. We're going to look at quotes. Down there's quotes, charts, trade, history, and settings. So we're going to focus on quotes and charts. So the quotes is why it shows all the currency pairs that we have, and to add more, you can click the top right corner there. You can add Forex miners. As you can see, I haven't added a lot of pairs. You can add gold and other things that you want to add. You just type there what you want. Maybe if it's old USD, to show if it's added or not. Yeah. So we're going to choose a currency pair that we're going to trade. So let's take, for example, let's say look at EURUSD. So if you want to trade, you click trade, but first you analyze before you enter a trade. So you have to click the chart there, and it's going to bring something like this. In the top left corner this side, we have time frames. Remember, we use hard time frames to analyze and smaller ones for entry. Then the top right corner, that's where we enter the trade from, depending on what lot size we want and all sorts of things. Then we set our stop loss there and all those things. Then there we have tools that we add when analyzing trend lines, boxes, rectangulars, all sorts of things like that. Then in the middle there, if you want to add indicators, I personally don't use indicators, but this is where you're going to find them: MACD, momentum, moving averages, and all sorts of things. And there, this plus sign, the thing that looks like a plus sign, you just use it for moving and seeing what price is. And if you want to get things more, it's like a cursor, like a mouse cursor, more like it. Yeah. So let's get into the analysis. So remember, for me, I like starting my analysis from a weekly, monthly, or daily. So we're going to look at the weekly here. So when analyzing, you have to turn your phone now into landscape to see things clearly. You know, that's seen much clearer like this. So remember, like EURUSD here, how I analyze it. If I'm using a phone, I'm going to go to the added to there, this line. It's going to show me, I want to see what price is. Remember, I always have to look left and see. History tends to repeat itself. So this is a very important level where EURUSD is. You can see here when we zoom in, price was failing to break below this, and once it broke, it continued this downtrend. So this is where EURUSD, and last time it reached this point was in 2017. So this is where it's at now. So I've been eyeing sales from there. So after we do this, if you want, you can add trend lines, but I personally don't like adding trend lines on the weekly. I start at least from the daily. So just to delete this. So we move now to the daily. The daily, that's why we get into it deeper with our analysis. So what can we see? We always zoom out and see if there are any trend lines that have been broken. So let's draw this. Let's see, maybe from there. Yeah, price has been moving in this bullish trend, so we get another trend line. I like parallel lines. We move it to this side just to clean it up. We can see EURUSD was moving in this channel. So are there any specific zones that we see? So also I use lines instead of boxes, but I'll also use both just to make things clear in this video. So the reason I've highlighted this line, as you can see here, is that as you can see, price was moving up and it just reached this area, then broke above. This is the only candle that's different here, and this is the highest point a candle ever closed above. So if you can use a line or a box to highlight this zone, just like that. So you can see that this was a very important level where EURUSD reached just before NFP. That's why when I saw this, I had to enter a short-term buy, and we see how price opens on Monday and how we can capitalize. But so long as it's above this level, we're looking for buy opportunity till this level. You can put an arrow, maybe till to come retest this zone, then continue selling. But we'll see, only time will tell. you know, with trading you have to be reactive, not predictive. So that's how I analyze. So you can also dig deeper to the H4. We zoom out to see things clearly. You can see that there's minor zones here. Let me just, there are minor zones here. We zoom out, we can see that this zone here, it was a very important zone that it broke below. Then there was also, you know, you can also draw trends in trends. You know, there's this small trend line here that it was going through, and it's broken a channel. It's broken below this. Hope I'm not being too fast. Don't worry, I'll analyze another pair. Yeah, so just like that, if you dig deeper to the H1, it to make more sense. Just like that, there's this channel, price was moving in. Yeah, this small trend line. You know, you can do this on any time frame that suits you. You don't necessarily have to start like me from the daily. I just prefer to get the overall bias for a pair than starting from smaller time frame. So you can start from H1, whichever one you feel like. You can see price tested this zone. Now it went bearish. Then on NFP day, it reached this important level that I marked, 1.1957. Then it rejected. Now it's going bullish. So that's basically it for EURUSD. And yeah, so remember, we start from our weekly to get the overall bias, then we use smaller time frames to look for entries. So this was a perfect entry to look for a buy opportunity. Yeah, so that's how we analyze. You can add more zones if you want, but it's better to keep your analysis as simple as clean or simple as straightforward. You know, it's better that we don't want too many things on it. So I don't draw too many things so that you see things clearly, you know. So that's how we analyze. Then when you want to enter a trade now, you can wait. So just wait for price to reach a certain level. Then if you feel like you want to sell here, since it's a specific zone, you just enter there. When your market opens, you sell. Yeah, market is closed. Yeah, so that's what happens. Yeah, so just another example in case I was too fast in that analysis. So here we can choose any pair I want to analyze. If you want, you can analyze all of them during weekend, then you just keep on looking at them during the weekend if you're busy. So let me look at GBPJPY. Yeah, this pair most people like. So remember, we start from a higher time frame to get our bias. So as we can see, well, if we look at the weekly chart here, GBPJPY GG has been an overall bullish trend since 2019. It's been overall bullish, you know. So we can mark out zones or levels. We tend our phone landscape so that we see things much better. So we can mark out levels which is broken and where it's heading to. So as we can see here, this was a very important level that it broke above, because every time if you look at how it tested here, now it's broken above that level. So it's continuing with the bullish trend. But where is it now? You mark out that level. It's also important. Yeah, so this is what we're going to focus on. So we go to our daily. We can draw trend lines if we want, if we feel like. So just a trend line there. We can see that it's been respecting this from there. It's been respecting this trend line here. Don't mind how it's been moving respecting that trend line. Sometimes you don't have to draw two if they don't make sense, like me drawing another parallel line this other side. It's not going to look clean, so maybe I'll just delete it. So as we can see, GBPJPY has been in a bullish trend. And what can we see here? What happened here? Here we can see, let's dive into the H4. When we zoom out, we're going to see something very, very interesting here. And this happened this week when I got the GBP interest rates. You've seen price always respects this trend line, especially if you analyze it on a higher time frame, not small time frame. You know, price tested here, buy there, buy there, buy, and just before news it was there. That's the big candle that you see there. So what happened here? So here we can draw a zone, a small zone if we like. This was a mini, we can draw it as a mini resistance if we like, whatever you want to call it. This was the level price was failing to break. Then we can also mark out what specific stones do we see. Price was before news, so we can draw this channel. Now here looking for entry, because price was in a bullish trend, so this was just a retracement. Price was retracing. This is how we analyze. Yeah, so you can see when you zoom out, it don't make sense. You've seen price won't just go up in a straight line. It always makes retracement, moves in waves, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction. So this was a correction where all we had to do is wait for the patient and be patient for the next impulse move. So if we dive into H1, we can see that here price failed to break that zone, and once news came out, it even broke out of this small channel, so it was inducing people to sell, and when it reached here, it bought. So you can also mark out that zone. So this was a perfect place for us to enter a trade because it had a lot of confluence here. There was a trend line, there was a mini support, and it was a channel, and news was going to be released. So this is how we analyze and see on a mobile phone. It's actually much easier than using a laptop, because here you just have to keep on looking and waiting and looking at your phone. Yeah, so that's basically it with GJ analysis. Let me give one last example. I hope I wasn't too fast. Remember, weekly we get our bias. We know that we're bullish, so we just have to look in for buying opportunity. On the daily, we just have to mark out specific zone and see what I personally like to draw a trend line on daily and H4. It's much cleaner for me. On H4, H1 and M15, now that's why we look for entry and see how we're going to enter our trades. So that's it. Let's look for another pair. So for us, we have to turn back the phone to portrait. Then we look for another pair. Which pair am I going to pick last? Let me see. USDCHF. USDCHF. So we do the same. We go on weekly. We turn our phone to landscape. We see where we are at. We zoom out. We see. We mark out. As we can see, USDCHF reached a very, very important zone. Very, very important zone. I've drawn this zone in the sense that when you look left, price, you always have to look left. When you look what happened in the past, you can see in 2011 when price reached this level, it turned and went back. The only time price broke this level is in 2014. But again, this candle failed to close below this line. And as you can see, this was a very important zone. If you want, you can mark it out as a support or just a line. I've marked it out as a line because it's cleaner for me, it's preference. So what do we see? USDCHF has been bearish. I remember last year I called on some buys. It bought for some time, but it still continued going down. So we go to the daily. So we know bearish, but nothing goes down forever. It will either retrace at some point or reverse. And it was a very critical level. So we change to daily now. Daily, what do we see? We zoom out. Are we seeing any trend line here? Let's see. Is there any bearish trend line there? Yeah, I'm seeing that. Are you? Yeah. So price has been respecting this trend line for quite some time. So you do that. We can even draw another parallel line. So you do that. You analyze. You see. Yeah. So you see every time price came there, it rejected, it bought. This is a diagonal support. Trend lines are just diagonal support and resistance also. That's how I view them. Yeah, so we can see what's price doing here. I'm actually seeing something very interesting here. Yeah, so also we can mark this as a zone. Yeah, we mark it as a zone. It's much cleaner like that. Yeah, so we can see price has been in a bearish trend. Then we can also mark out something very, very important. This level here, you can use a line or a zone. This level here, as you can see, it's important to see where candles are closing, not the wicks, but where they are closing. You've seen all these candles fail to close above. So that's why I've marked it 89.128, or we can draw it as a resistance. It was a strong resistance, but see what has happened. Price was ranging in this one, and we can see it's more like made an inverse heads and shoulders here, if I'm not mistaken. So we're actually seeing that one, price has broken out of this trend. I actually managed to get in this trade even before it broke this strong resistance. I'll show you a picture in the video as we go on. Yeah, so I actually got some buys, but I came out, but I'll enter again, still buying unless we get below this zone. So that's how we analyze. We can also mark out other important zones where price is at. So we can also see here, I've marked out this line. As you can see, when price came here, it rejected, there it rejected, and this is the only candle that's different from other candles when they are going bearish. So this is an important key level, and this is where it rejected on Friday. Yeah, so here other people got some sales as price. This might be just a retracement or a continuation. This was a fake out. So we go to H4. How do I've got these sales? You've seen. So price has broken out of this bearish trend. So it's either two things are going to happen. It's either price is going to come back. It's going to come back, retest this level, and then continue bullish, or it's going to come back and this was just a fake out. It's going to trap people that are buying and continue selling, because overall it's been in a bearish trend. But I'm actually eyeing for more buys, but we'll see. We just have to be reactive and not predictive. So that's basically it on how you analyze. So here, if you miss sales here, you just wait for a retracement, then you cut some pips as price sales. But overall, that's how we analyze. Yeah, so just another, maybe we analyze NASDAQ together for the last time. Yeah, NASDAQ, it's USDCHF on this broker. So click charts. You can, if you find that you've analyzed something and you want to remove, you just click there and just remove there. You can remove everything that you analyze, so that you start afresh. You need clean analysis every week or every day per se. So with NASDAQ, we do the same. Turn our phone to landscape. So we see NASDAQ has always been bullish ever since since back in time, you know, just looking for buys. That's why a lot of traders that trade this specifically make a lot of money, because it's you buy almost, not all the time, but most of the time, you know. So what can we see? NASDAQ has crossed this important key level. I mark it out. So it's continuing buys and we're on over a bullish trend. So we go to daily. If we don't see much there, you don't force things. You don't have to necessarily see so much at a go. So what can we see there? We can see a trend line. You know, you can see a trend line. So you can see price is respecting that level. It's respecting that level. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, doesn't have to be parallel. Yeah, just like that. Did a fake out there, but still continued up. Then we go to the H4 now. We can go to the H4 now. What are we seeing here? Okay, now let's go back to the daily. We can see there's an important zone there that it reached. So that's a strong resistance. That's the all-time high. Is it going to break above it, or we'll see? So we go to the H4 now. What do we see here? This is where things now start to get interesting. We draw specific zones that we're seeing. You can see this zone is very important. Very important, in the sense that it tapped here, failed to broke above, we tested it, this kind of broke below it, but it failed to close above. It's a very important level. So then we now start drawing the mini trend lines. That's how you trade NASDAQ and how we can be profitable. You know, you don't just analyze on a higher time frame, because this is very volatile. You know, it can easily blow your account if you're caught on the wrong side. So your entries have to be precise. So we draw. Are we seeing any trend line there? No. This is delete there. So you see that price is respecting. Here you can even go deeper to 1 hour. So you see, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So at a strong resistance, two things can happen. We either break above it or reject it. But in most cases, yeah. So I'm moving in this channel. So we dig deeper to M15. So with NASDAQ, you have to go as low as you can, you know, because your entries have to be precise. When I mean precise, if you're caught on the wrong side, you burn, you know. So that's what I'm seeing, you know. That's what I'm seeing. Beautiful. You've seen. Overall, we know that this is a strong resistance on the daily. So you're looking for selling opportunity, but you just don't sell yet. So wait for either a break out of this trend line, or if it breaks above, then we continue buys, you know. But I personally here will be looking for sales, but we'll see. You know, it's NASDAQ is always going up, but we'll see. If it retraces that, then we look for buys. But for at the moment here, buying opportunity, we were supposed to take it there, but we missed it. So we just wait for another setup here. So when you are done trading now, you just have to be looking at your phone, waiting. If things have played out, you come to EURUSD maybe after an hour. If you see it reach a certain level, then you take your trade and sell there if you want, you know. So yeah, we're actually coming to the end of this video. Just a quick recap. Remember, if you want to see your charts, you just go there. If you want to add tools, go to this column. You can add any object. If you want to erase your analysis, you just come there, delete. This might differ depending if you're using a Samsung or an iPhone, but it's simply straightforward. You know, on iPhone it shows like this, but on a Samsung it will be a bit different, but the principles are still the same. To add indicators, you just come there. If you want indicators, I only use the only indicators I use at times, but I don't. It's been a while. It's just moving averages, you know. You come there. If you want to add, you just click moving averages. You input your values, and you click that. You've seen 10 there. If I want to remove it, just come there and remove. The same principles. So that's how you analyze. If you want to add a broker, you just go there. I explained how to add brokers. Yeah. So that's basically it. Thank you for watching this video till the very end, and please remember to like, share and subscribe, and leave a comment in the section below. It really does help support the creation of more future content and help grow the community. And don't forget to mention the type of videos you'd like to see more often from me and which topics you'd like me to cover. And it's bye for now. Ciao.